I am now recording. Okay, so we had a few people that were absent. So over the last couple weeks, um, thank you for the reminder. By the way, Harley, I was not recording until you said that, but I did have it in front of me, so I was gonna hit it. Um, okay, so let's see what happened. Y'all made it to the moon. Um, Oh, sorry. Let me back up a bit. You fought Valen's Deus Varo. He was under the thrall of Bahamut, on top of the Crystal Tower, and uh, his legion were also under their thrall. And you ended up defeating him. I believe you cut off his head as well, if I'm not mistaken. And you collected the head of Graha Tia, used the blood from his head in order to activate the Crystal Tower's platforms, which seemed to be a requirement, and were able to open up a portal to the moon. And once you got to the moon, you looked around, you saw a whole lot of creepy looking creatures. They appeared to be somewhat like coral with um, a glowing center walking around. There were also some long, tall, thin, skinny cactuses walking around. They were like cactuars that were stretched out like balloon animals. I knew you were going to post. I knew you were going to post that as soon as I said coral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and you found there was a big hole, and you found a large crater on the moon, and then at the very center of the crater there was a large hole. Deus went to look at it with her eagle eye goggles. I believe Kevin was carrying her over there, um, and you weren't able to see to the bottom. So your group decided to avoid it and continue on following Soul's intuition, headed towards the tower that he had seen in his dreams. Tavi had also been there. When you got to the tower, you found that it was a large repository of sorts. There were many, 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 many leather-bound books on the first couple of floors, which were eventually replaced by crystals. Um, and they all seem to be uh, data logs of observing um, the star, the planet that you are from. Um, when you got to the top, you met Azem, the Watcher, and Azem uh, was a blonde-haired, brilliantly blue-eyed, uh, nondescript non-binary, nondescript-looking person who said that they could read the color of souls and was able to look into yours and also to speak with Emmett Silk that was there. They knew each other, although Emmett's memories had been sealed away, and Azem um, had stated that they were bound to the tower and showed you the chains that were keeping them um, attached to the chair that they were sitting on in their balcony. They had the freedom to move about the tower, but as soon as they try to go past the tower, the chains would pull them back to their chair. And they said that the key to releasing them and also returning Emmett Selk's memories was located in that big crater. Um, are you not facing a nuclear blast? I just assumed you were. Um, yeah, so your group decided to go to the crater. You went to the bottom of it. Um, it took you. It was more than half a mom down before you got to the center of the crater, or I'm sorry, the floor of the crater, and it was dark. Um, you tried using torches. Most of you could not see in the dark, and Emmett Selk cast a spell on Kevin's helmet, providing an umbrella of light, allowing you to see about 120 films in each direction without any glare. Um, you proceeded to walk quite a long ways along a bone structure, which Hayate surmised were dragon's bones, but they were massive in scale. Um, Took you about the better part of 3 hours to get to the end of the structure, um, where you found a skull, a massive dragon skull. And when you went in the nostril of the dragon to get inside the mouth, you found a single glowing flower, which you picked and assumed this was what you needed to bring back to Azem. Somewhere along the way, you found a nigh bottomless pit, and Kevin decided that he wanted to see the bottom of it. So he spent several hours flying downwards through it until he ended up going through the empty core of the planet, or of the moon, and almost started going back the other way. He could feel the gravity changing. And then he came back. But almost got eaten by some worms tunneling through the moon as well. When you got back to Azem, Azem held the flower, which released the chains on the chair, and they stood up, and then they handed it to Emmett, advising them to eat the flower, and once Emmett did, he stated that his memories had returned. Did I miss anything?
We didn't talk to the dragon that was dead.
You did not talk to the dragon because no one had speak with dead or anything like that. Yes. Did I miss anything else, or did anything not sound coherent?
Nope.
It
Good.
seemed right to me.
Okay. Christian, that will make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to begin. Emmett has just eaten the flower, and he says, I remember it. Everything. And that's where we're picking up right now. So would anyone like to say anything to that?
Is he reacting to us at all after he got his memories back?
He seems to be staring at Azem. Oh, Azem told you the name of the dragon. It was Midgardsormr. Midgardsormr was a dragon that flew through interstellar space, suffered some damage from some reason and crash landed into the moon, and requested of Hydaelyn to nurture the eggs that he brought along with him before he had died. And that's how dragons got to the Earth. Missed that part, my bad.
So, what do you remember? Anything crazy?
Depends on your definition of crazy, I suppose.
I don't know. Something useful, I guess?
Can you tell us where we've released a monster in Azem?
Well, Azem is their own person and completely unpredictable, so whether or not you've released a monster, I could not say. But I think it is better that Azem is not chained. Oh, well, thank you, Emmett. I concur.
Yeah, so anything you think would be important to ask here?
Gotta confess, nothing's coming to mind.
Emmett and Azem, for a moment, seem to remember that there's more people here than just the two of them. And they turn to you. It looks like they've been having a telepathic conversation. And when they turn to you, Emmett says, well, it looks like you have a choice to make now. My memories are sealed because I refuse to go along with the plans of my compatriots. Azem was locked away here because they steadfastly refused to go along with their plans. Unfortunately, I am the far better sorcerer than Azem, so they could not seal me away easily. Asm then chimes in. I confess, I am quite incapable of casting spells, at least at the level of Emmett, or any of our compatriots.
And with all your sorceress might, what do you recommend we do about your former compatriots?
Emmett looks like he's about to respond before Asm puts up their hand. Says, well, I believe that's up to you, whether you decide if we are to be enemies or allies in this, or to just part amicably. Any choice is entirely up to you.
But you do want to stop the big moon / dragon from destroying the Earth, our homeland, right?
Personally, I do. I'm not certain that Emmett does, and I'm not certain that you will.
That's crazy. Unless Bob came down right now and said, "Hey, let the entire world be destroyed. It's my will." I wouldn't do that. That ain't no make sense.
Yes, well. May I speak now? Emmett shoots a glare at Asm. Our compatriots are planning to bring the moon down to the Earth. This is correct. But it is not to destroy the planet. It is not to crash the moon into the planet. It is to release the being within. What do you know of what Dalamed contains?
Well, we know it supposedly contains Bahamut, the dragon primal that was captured and tortured by the Alligans for some amount of time to basically serve as a battery power source for the Crystal Tower that operated their empire before its fall in the, what was it, Fourth Calamity?
You are well read. Yes, that is accurate, or at least that is the story that we told to the Alligans. Yes, they were able to use it as a battery, a nigh limitless source of power. But that was not the sole purpose of Dalamed. It is an incubation chamber. It is meant to rebirth our dead god Zodiac, and Bahamut will be his vessel.
I'm sorry, Zoda who?
Zodiac.
Name don't ring a bell.
I wouldn't imagine it would. It is a name lost to history. He's from our time, not yours.
Why would you want to resurrect some Zodiac? It sounds like that time's come and gone.
Zodiac is a benevolent protector who shrouds our star and keeps us safe from all harms, external and internal.
Well, what happened to him?
He was vanquished by others
Vanquished?
of our time who did not like.
Why would they want to do that?
Because they prefer to have free will.
Yep, that's true.
In what way
Oh.
did Zodiac prevent free will in the first place?
Zodiac prevented all conflict on the planet. As soon as conflict erupted, Zodiac would appear in his avatar form and stop it. Use your imagination how. He also protected us from anything coming from without the star. But this also prevented us from leaving. Our growth was stifled. Our animosity went unchecked.
Does that mean that Zodiac allowed Midgar Sormir to arrive?
Zodiac was dead long before Midgar Sommer arrived.
Sounds like Zodiac
That would
Arc
make
didn't use his
sense.
trap card.
You're thinking of Exodia. That's a different god.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Azem is listening intently. I will confess. I was one of those who fought against Zodiark. Emmett was a staunch supporter of him, at least for a time. I do not know where he stands now. Do you know where you stand, Emmett? Emmett just makes a scowl, as if he's waiting to see what you all say.
I think everyone knows what I'm going to say. I'd like to know what you're going to say, Emmett. I think that's very important here.
Well, I suppose it's also relevant as to why, prior to your memories being sealed, that you sided against your compatriots if they were trying to resurrect a god that you were reportedly in favor of.
I was in favor of it. But my devotion to my good friend Azem was stronger, and I objected to their exile. For this, they attempted to exile me as well, and yet they were not strong enough to do so, merely only able to seal my memories away.
So, again, you don't want to bring back this Zodiac guy, do you?
That remains to be seen.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I don't want to have to fight you because that would make me really upset. Because even though sometimes we don't get quite along, I think I've grown to kind of like you in a weird sort of way. But look, our savior Bob, he came down and he gave us free will, and I don't think taking that away is a very good thing. I think one of the things that makes us who we are is the ability to choose right from wrong, choose if I wake up and go left, or I wake up and go right. Either way, that's my choice. And if someone's going to stop me from choosing, what's the point of living?
I could not agree more.
This does bring up the question, though, and it is an answer that none of us mere mortals could provide, but in your countless centuries of observation, you witnessed our various species have this free will that you longed for prior to Zodiark's downfall. What would you say we've done with it in all these many, many years?
Precious little except learning how to slaughter one another and go backwards in progress. Though there are signs of potential.
I think you were looking at me when you said that, right?
I was not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were looking at me when you said that.
I was looking at you.
No, yeah, you're also nice.
The way I see it, if we've had these millennia of time to improve and do this, that, or the other wondrous things with our free will, and that basically led to the Alligans and their tyrannical empire, and then every tyrant that's been here since, maybe it would be a good thing if Zodiark came back.
That is certainly an observation. I would not even say it is a wrong one. But I will say, and Emmett will agree, none of these countless millennia that you've been around have been without the influence of our friends. You've been pushed in various directions by our will. The Allegan Empire was a design of Emmett's making. Emmett shrugs.
Did you give him that soup recipe?
What
Good question.
soup recipe?
The soup recipe that was at the brothel. If so, could you write it down real quick for us?
I do not recall it.
Rats.
Even if, your
As
people or
hold on 1 second. Azim actually
Yep.
winks at Deus, and you hear a little voice in your head, Deus, that says, "I have it stored away in one of these crystals here. I'll make sure you get it."
Okay, I'll nod to him and telepathically say, like, okay, I'm on your side now.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
yeah, even if your people were manipulating things to go the way, it was still people that chose which way to go and chose if they wanted to listen or not. Just like you have a whole group of people trying to summon Dalmad to our universe, and you have us and a bunch of people fighting against it. It's someone's choice. And if anything I know about Bob, he gave us that power to choose. And if you choose wrong, well, then you spend eternal damnation in a really bad place. That's why you must always choose right. But regardless, that all comes down to a choice. And so I think what you both need to decide right now, which I think I already know, is you have to choose. Are you with us to continue to give us choice where we live, or are you against us having any choice and any free mind?
I have not made up my mind yet, and I will not be held to your standards. I will make up my mind in my own time.
Kevin, I can understand your desire for free will, but at the same time, how many countless wrongs have there been in our own lives that would have been supposedly put a stop to by this Zodiarch? Cliffside would still be around and never would have been in a snow globe with a beholder in the first place. I never
that's
would
true.
have had to suffer through the abuses of my childhood and getting this abomination of a body I'm stuck with.
Yep, that's true. But the way I see it is, in the Bible, Bob puts these difficult things in our path so we can grow and learn. And, had you not gone through those difficult things, would you have found our group? Would you have, had a fun time with Deus? May I not have liked it? May you not have, found your way in life? It's because of those hard things you experienced growing up that led you here. So you can have a more fulfilling and happier life. And honestly, if everything was always so perfect, then what would just stop us just from sitting in chairs all day and doing nothing? Everything's perfect. Nothing's wrong. Why do I even gonna move?
Not quite equitable to speculate on what might have been had these various tragedies not befallen us. By that same logic, who's to say I wouldn't have found you guys under much less hostile terms without the motivation and apparent instruction before Hayate turncoated on the daimyo, where I was planning to assassinate most of you in your sleep.
Right. But you chose not to assassinate us in our sleep, and that's because of your past and what you saw in the future. And the whole point of it all is you got that choice. And if I took that choice away from you, you'd be pretty mad, wouldn't you be?
I suppose it's a matter of if I was aware of the choice being an option or not.
Yep. I think regardless if you're aware of the choice being an option, it was a choice, nonetheless. And if you take that away from you, then you're basically taking a whole part of who you are.
A point of clarification, Emmet and Asm. When you say Zodiark would step in to forcefully prevent conflict, to what extent would that manifest? Would it be, oh, a barroom brawl broke out and then suddenly a demigod appeared? Or is it just stricter to larger scales? Because that would definitely impact the level of freedom one would have or lose under Zodiark.
From my recollection, unless there was directly going to be harm caused by coming to another, then healthy debate was allowed. But as soon as hands were raised in a violent position, Zodiac's ever watchful gaze would turn upon them.
See, that sounds not quite as restrictive of freedoms as you might be thinking, Kevin. The forbearance against violence is not the same as saying you have no free will whatsoever.
Okay, forbearance against violence, right? Well, if we didn't have violence, then we would never be able to get play slappy facey ever again. Now you think about that.
Well, I think a being as powerful as Zodiark could differentiate between mutual agreements of sport and violence with the intent to maliciously harm another.
Oh, you'd
what if
be
it
very
didn't?
wrong there.
Oh.
There were no sports. Nothing that included any kind of contact.
I fear that would most certainly cut into my profit margins then.
That is pleasurable contact. It's different.
Well, wouldn't Zeno say that combat is pleasurable contact?
You are once again treading into the territory of free will, and now you understand what the main argument was.
I would say that Xenos is a bit of an extreme in what he views as pleasurable contact in the context of conflict to be, but I see what you're getting at.
Wait, so you say no one's allowed to populate?
Well, no, more like sparring and contact sports are against the Zodiark rules and any other forms of potentially aggressive contact.
Yeah, who gets to change the rules? No one but the Zodiac. Don't sound nice, does it?
I will agree. I had misassumed that it was not quite that extreme.
Regardless, we had a prosperous, flourishing society. Research, magic, technology, all of this went fully unchecked for eons. We are the height, the pinnacle of civilization. Till Azem and their friends decided that free will is more important than just overseeing the well-being of the star.
Seeing as Zodiark has not been reborn yet, and it sounds like there's a certain degree of planned design in his intelligent design, could there not be adjustments made to make him not quite as restrictive as he once was? It once was? I don't know the correct nomenclature.
Zodiac was referred to as he. But no. The power to create Zodiac no longer exists. So all we can do is allow him to incubate, as he has been, since the time of the Elegans. And then he can be not reborn, but reformed with a new vessel. However, the time for programming him, as you say, is long past.
Well, that is unfortunate.
Well, I don't know about all you, but like I said, my decision is straight. I think I gotta follow what's right by Bob, what's right by me, and what's right by everyone here. And I can't have no one, and I mean no one, deciding what people can and can't do. I mean, our group, since day one when we formed, was founded on a few simple things. And one of those things was, at any point in time, when we all decided to do something, we had to come to an agreement. We all had to make a decision. We all had to choose. And to take that away, to be it like, oh, Kevin gets to make the decision, that just don't sit right with me. And if we want to give that all away and give that to some Zodiac that makes us promise of living in a boring world where people don't get to choose things and it has to be the one done the way they want to do it, then I ain't for it. And I don't want my kids growing up in a world like that. So if you don't think that's right, then you're welcome to fight me for it right now. And that's your choice.
When Kevin says this, Emmett turns to Deus and says, "And what do you think of your paramour's proclamations?"
I agree with him 100%, and he didn't even have to offer me a soup recipe.
Emmett looks confused for a moment and then meets eyes with Azem and rolls his own.
Yeah, what Kevin says is true. You know, it's always better to be able to choose what you want to be and choose who you're going to be with and choose what you're going to do. And it should be your choice to be nice to people. That's it.
Thanks, Dace. Right.
We've heard good arguments from both sides. There are several voices that have remained quiet, and Emmett scans the room, looks at Cassette, Solus, Tavi. What are your thoughts?
Well, guess it's true that maybe we haven't accomplished a whole lot with our free will, and sometimes people can be pretty bad to each other, but I think Kevin's right that, you know, we're still meant to have it, and I do believe, like Dea says, we can choose to be nice. And using that free will to do that, I think is the right thing to do, instead of leaving it up to whatever this is that thinks it's right to tell us what to do. I just feel that I spent a lot of my life being told what to do and didn't always end up right, and kind of sick of that.
And what if I told you that the person that you used to be was the chief architect of this project? The progenitor of the idea of creating Zodiac in the first place?
Well, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me too much based on all I found out about my past life, if you want to call it that. But I think through my own free will, I've turned into something better than what I was, depending on how you look at it.
Azem smiles at you. Emmett still remains stoic, not giving any indication of what he's thinking. And then, now that he's heard from Solus, he looks at Tavi and Cassette.
As much as I dislike some of the choices people make, people need to be able to make their own choices. Otherwise, what's the point? Might as well just have automatons and be done with organic creatures.
That was actually something that was considered, believe it or not.
The point of life is to be able to make the mistakes. And then there's those of us here who can hopefully do something about the mistakes that are made.
The mistakes of your predecessors once threatened all life on this star. Not just on this star, but on many others. That is what free will can rot. Is that something
Yes,
that you think is
perhaps
worthwhile?
so. But then where there's darkness, you have opposition, you have light. If there are those who would destroy, then there are those who would stop them. It's what we're doing here. How are we to trust some higher being to make that choice for us? What if the higher being decided that all of this is pointless and just had us all commit suicide?
And what of the most diminutive among you? What is your thought?
Yeah, Triple C, speak up.
Oh, he was talking to me?
Yes, you are the shortest.
Oh. Why didn't you just say so?
I did say so.
It's a diminutive. It could be taken into multiple different kinds of ways. Oh. I see both points in the argument. I think extremes of either can be very terrible. Because again, if someone has too much free will, then, well, it can be kind of dangerous because that free will, it doesn't just affect them, it affects everyone and everything around them as well. So sometimes they do need to have some guidance with it, but that's the thing as well. Sometimes people think the guidance means complete and utter, lack of free will, to have that taken away from them. And that's bad as well. So I think probably somewhere in the middle, depending on the circumstances and depending on the person, seems fine with me. Because yeah, you should be able to make your own choice, but that doesn't mean that you're free from the consequences of your choice. But I also think that you should be able to help guide the person, offer some possible sound advice, but that also means that that person is free to choose whether or not they want to take said advice. You shouldn't be able to devoid them of that choice. So yeah, that's what I think.
Azim turns to Emmett. It does seem that you are outnumbered, my friend. Please, I haven't made a decision yet to what side I'm on. Perhaps I'm of your number.
Well, kind of funny, right? That you're right now, you're choosing to either be with us or not be with us. But that's still a choice. Isn't that kind of right? At least you get that choice.
The irony is not lost on me. I made this
No.
choice
My
millennium
pants are
ago.
pretty straight. Thanks. I don't need no ironing.
Emmett Sulk sighs and waves his hand, and suddenly a silver and gold strip of fabric of some sort, adhesive fabric, goes across Kevin's lips. And Emmett sighs and smiles and says, "Silence is golden."
Kevin sighs and just doesn't try to remove it right now. He'll just be quiet.
You have a choice to make.
Now, would Zodiac approve of that?
He will not be harmed. Not by me. But if he attempts to rip it off himself, it will hurt. But that's not me doing it, is it? I've had much more time to explore the boundaries of the cage. So here's your choice, and you should know what you are up against. Should you decide to help usher in Zodiac's return, my brethren will be on your side. They will help you. They will provide you with support. They'll provide you with power. They'll provide you with history, secrets, knowledge, all that they have. And all you will have to do is help to convince the rest of the star that this is how it will work. This is the future. If you choose to go against them, the only thing that you can do is fight and defeat Zodiac. You will be against my compatriots. The only support that you will have is possibly from me, and definitely from Azem and those you have collected around the star. If you believe their power is strong enough that they can assist you in taking on Zodiac and defeating him once and for all, along with all of my brethren, then you may choose that path. It is important for you to know what you are up against.
How many brothers do you have?
The convocation of 14 includes 12 brothers and sisters, plus Azem here and myself. Not to mention the countless Asians, that is our name after all, who are not part of the convocation but have yet been awakened. With this, Emmett walks to the balcony and looks out the window at all of these shades that are wandering around on the moon.
Are there a lot of those?
Oh, I forgot to mention that last time. There are hundreds and hundreds of them. And when people would try to walk through them, they would disappear. When Soul touched them, or they walked through Soul, or vice versa, he would hear snippets of their thoughts.
Actually, I have a question. If it was Azem and Entourage who slew Zodiac the first time, where's the rest of said entourage?
Oh, this is one that I could answer. All of them are dead. They all gave up their lives to empower Heidelin. Heidelin is how we slew Zodiac the first time.
And could we not employ her aid again?
Heidelin is not
his
the
return?
avatar that she once was. She no longer holds that power. It was almost all but expended in the initial conflict. Please take your time. Don't choke to death.
And Kevin rips off the the thing.
You go clean shaven most of the time, right?
Not clean shaven, but yeah.
Okay. Lots of stubble is ripped out when you pull off the tape.
Oh.
There are easier ways to shave, Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Waxing gives longer results, though.
I'm being convinced to wax my nose hairs. Sorry, off topic, but I'm apprehensive about it.
Yeah, don't. Just cut them like a normal person.
Hmm.
Like,
Or
why do you
grow it
want to
out,
put yourself
you
in
will.
that pain?
Waxing nose hairs can lead to very bad nasal infections.
Really? Well, good to know.
They call it the Triangle of Death for the nose and surrounding areas because it has a direct line to the brain.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, back to the game. Emmett is quiet right now, because it sounds like the path that you're going to decide means that all those on the outside there will be gone. Lost to time.
Are they not already? They seem not but specters.
They live within Zodiac. If Zodiac goes, so do they.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? How are they even living right now? That they just kind of stumble around. They don't interact with anything. Is that what you call living?
Depends on who you ask.
You?
I do not have an opinion I wish to share on this matter.
Well, opinion I can share on this matter is there ain't no way to live a life.
And who are you to decide that for them, Kevin? Are you
Someone
not
that
just
gets to
now
choose?
taking away their free will?
What free will? Does that look like they have free will?
Yes, because all of them volunteered themselves to power Zodiac in the first place.
What are they doing now?
They are him. He is them.
Stumbling around, not thinking, not having any thought.
Depends on your point of view.
Hey, Kevin, this might not be the best argument to bring up. Because don't you kind of walk around with no thought around? You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but not getting to choose what they get to do.
There's no
Is it
answer
possible
for
to
that.
talk to one of them right now?
You may certainly
Like, actually
try.
talk with them.
I do not know if it's possible for you to communicate with them. I barely can.
And what do they say when you try to communicate with them?
That is personal. It's not for you
Yeah,
to
just
worry
give me
about.
an idea.
Reminiscent of the world before.
They don't talk about the world that it is now?
How could they? They never lived in it.
So they just get to live in the past forever. An eternity of living and wishing you're back in the past.
What if you were able to spend the entirety of your existence in the best memory that you have ever known? Would that be a choice that you would make?
Yep. It'd be a choice that have to say no to. Because for the last almost year, I've made a lot of horrible memories. It's things that I don't want to think about, that I wish I could take back. But I've also made some of the best memories ever. And I hope to share those memories with my kids. And the idea that I couldn't make new memories like that, go on new adventures, that just seems plain wrong.
Emmett says nothing.
Is there no way to somewhere meet in the middle and attempt to salvage the contained souls within Zodiac's incubating form?
If you have a way of facilitating this plan, I'm all ears, so to speak.
Well, from what you say, they are currently in some other plane of existence of sorts, living in an eternal memory of happy good times, which would come to a halt if Zodiac is destroyed? But can we not just leave him in the incubator? If we stop the moon from continuing its fall to Earth, then they would stay where they are?
The moon is not falling to Earth through any intervention of those on the ground. Despite the children, the lambs of Dalamud as they call themselves, praying to it, doing everything that they can to bring the moon to the ground, they have no control. The fact that it is approaching the star now means that the creature inside has finished incubating and is now completing their programming.
And what of the mind-controlled Garleans that we fought on the tower?
Yes, well, they believed that they were doing the right thing, and in doing so, they gave up their free will. Did they not?
Right, but what I mean is that their actions were not accelerating the descent.
Their decision was to come up here, to the moon, and put an end to Azem, and also to remove any way of freeing my memories.
Well, that makes sense. Would it be possible to go to Dalamud itself and make alterations? Bleed off some energies to keep it in a unhatched state?
I believe that to be beyond even my own power, but if you wish to make a plan to do so, I will provide what information I have. And for the record, even if I help you, I still have not yet made my decision.
Your reluctance is understandable. I'm trying to see if there's any way to at least salvage the Asian souls out about the moon plane. And if we don't have to fight a hatched deity, all the better.
Yes, I can certainly see from your point of view how you would want to avoid doing such a thing.
You made mention that Soul's past incarnation headed this project. If his memories of that past life were restored, would there be perhaps some knowledge he might be privy to that you were not, as it was his program?
No, the Convocation of 14 hid nothing from each other.
So much for that.
You must understand, the Convocation of 14 were elected by our people to serve roles throughout the thousands of years of their life for the betterment of the star and to make decisions for them. They believed in us with all of their heart, but the Convocation of 14 were not the only ones living on our world. The Asians numbered in the billions.
And what would you say their numbers are now, if you're counting the 14 and the souls on the moon here?
Well, if you're not including half-faded souls of the dead, 14. 15 if you include Hythlodaeus.
I was including the half-faded souls.
Beyond count.
just spitballing here, but if it was possible to get in contact with Heidelin, could the souls be siphoned from Zodiark to her, one deity creature to another, so that they would not be extinguished?
I've not been in contact with Heidelin. She refuses to speak with me. She may, however, speak with Azem, or with you, or with one of your number, who acts as her champion. And he turns his gaze...
That's what I was thinking.
He turns his gaze to the planet hanging in the sky above you, and he's looking directly at the area of the world that represents the Azem Steppe.
I think it would be worth the conversation if our dear Professor Sid is able to contact Heidelin and see if she's able to find some way to salvage those half-souls, as you call them, so they're not utterly destroyed, and then that in turn would weaken Zodiark and perhaps prevent his hatching entirely.
It is an interesting thought. I will not dismiss it out of hand. But I will say it sounds like you have much to discuss with one another. And perhaps being up here on the moon is no longer the best spot to do so. My brothers will have noticed that Azem is no longer bound. They are like to come here sooner rather than later.
I'd imagine they also noticed we killed one of them on our ascent up the tower.
Death is temporary for an Ascian. It is very difficult to expunge us once and for all. Then Daniel will be reborn. How and when remains
How
to be
quickly?
seen.
So for
Sorry.
some amount of time, we've at least somewhat diminished their strength.
You may think of it that way.
Well, my suggestion then, dear soul, as you're the only arcane practitioner amongst us, I think we need to go pay a visit to our professor in the steppe and see if he is willing and able to reach out to Heidelin. A very weird sentence I never expected to say.
Well, I certainly don't want to be here when they come back looking for Azem, so yeah, that works for me.
Out of game, I think that should be something that y'all do as a side chat since Mike isn't here, and I would want him to decide what Sid would do in this situation. I don't want to speak for him when it comes to this topic.
I will bring him up to speed and ask.
As a DM, I just want to point out, if this was a video game, you're at the point of no return where you're going to have to make a decision, and that decision's going to affect the rest of the game. So, both are equally viable options for you. You just have to decide which one that you're going to go for.
Both
Out of
being...
character.
What?
Everyone knows what option Kevin's deciding, so.
The two options being pro-Zodiark, anti-Zodiark, whatever flavor of anti-Zodiark that happens to be.
Correct. Now, I mean, there's shades of gray in there, but those are the two overarching choices that you're going to have to make.
Seems like most of us were fairly anti-Zodiark.
Yes, it seemed that way, but I don't know if you necessarily want to stick to that plan after you all have a chance to talk it out with each other. But you might. I'm just not trying to make a hasty decision for you, if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
Hey, you guys want to come over here and we can talk? And I don't think there's much to talk about, but we always make these decisions as a group.
I do think more conversation is necessary, but I don't think it should be here. We should either return to the keep or to the steppe if we want to see if Sid can reach out to Heidelin, as I suggested. But I
By
do agree
me.
there seems to be a majority consensus already.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with Oleana. I think we should talk to the professor and see what he has to say about this. I feel really bad about all those shadow people out there, and I would want to have them be safe and have a better life than they have now, and enjoy that free will. So, I think I think I would go that way.
I mean, are those entities currently even alive? If they have no free will, they might as well just be a part of some whole. Is their consciousness even still in existence?
I think it's also
Without
within
free will, what are we?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And those creatures might as well be dead.
When you say that, Emmett
Yep.
shoots you a glare.
I don't mean I would like them to be dead, grandfather. I mean, their existence is essentially already that.
Yeah, that was very much the look like, my grandson, if you say another word, you're getting smacked across the face kind of look is what he gave you.
Yeah.
Furthermore, if they have no free will, but they are just observers to the choices that are being made for them, and those choices don't align with their own inner thoughts, would that not be almost torturous? I know they made the original choice to join with the entity, but if I joined with an entity and it started making terrible choices and I had no power to do anything about it, I couldn't imagine a much worse fate.
The point of joining with Zodiac in the way that they did was that they came to the conclusion that the choices that they would make would be inferior to those that a superior being would make.
But once the choice is made, then there's no more choosing, right? They're already a part of it. So
correct.
we have no way of knowing for sure whether they still agree with their own choices now or whether they regret it or anything, really.
Emmett says nothing. He broods. Aslan says, might I suggest that we, as has been previously suggested, reconvene at a better location than here? If I may be so bold as to impose, I would love to join you at your castle, if that would be amenable to you.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have you. All right, let's get out of here. Can you teleport there if you've never been there?
The magics of we Asians are a tad bit stronger than those that you use in this day and age.
Good. All right. Well, you can go ahead and take us.
Kevin to just be. Can the Asian? Yes, they can.
Well, my pa always told me, one should never assume because then you make something out of something and something. And I don't know what that something is, but let's get out of here. Back to our place.
I will tag along in the ether streams left behind by you.
Sounds good.
Make sure to bust out those Aetherite tickets, Kevin, because this would be quite an expensive journey otherwise, and I refuse to die fighting a god broke and penniless.
All right. Well, Kevin takes out the how many? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't forget Hayate.
Yeah. 9. No, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Don't count
it's
Emmett and
7.
Asm.
7. Okay, -7. Yeah, ticket for everyone. Hands everyone a ticket.
We will follow behind.
And castle spends the 6 seconds
Okay.
required to
It's
teleport to
10
castle.
minutes, but yes.
Sends the 10 minutes required to teleport to castle.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Uh-oh. Jimmy in the background music froze? Or is that me?
He froze.
Looks like it.
He froze.
Okay. Well, we can wait. While we're waiting for Jimmy to get back, gotta say, I'm really loving the conversation that this has sparked. I'm liking seeing all of your philosophies.
Very intense topics here.
I mean, Kevin's
I
is
mean,
pretty
what if
easy.
we were all like, yeah, we want the greater power to choose for us, and then we join in, and it's like, hi, I'm Trump.
No
I'm the
comment.
greatest and best power ever, and I love to choose for everybody.
What a
When
nice
they're
guy.
when you're famous, they let you do it.
Oh my god. I know he said that, but
Kind of perfect for
just
this,
so.
huh?
Yeah. I mean, Kevin just follows the Book of Bob, so it's pretty simple for him.
Is it really though? Because doesn't the Book of Bob tell you all the things that you should do in service of Bob? Is that not lack of free will?
No, well, you can choose to do it or not. That's the one thing he gave man was
I mean, if the Book of Bob is like
free will.
the Bible, isn't everything like super vague and unclear, and everyone interprets it differently?
True, but
What the anti-Bob did?
yeah, but remember he gave the Bible God gave so Adam and Eve, they sacrificed themselves. Well, they didn't sacrifice themselves, they died, and that gave us free will. And then
Are you making this up
Jesus
as you
died for
go?
our sins. No, that's just how it goes. No, this is what happened. It's the Bible. And then Jesus died for our sins. You know.
I didn't know
And
that
so
Adam and Eve died. I thought Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, and then they were cast out
no,
of Eden.
sorry, they were the ones that gave us free will by eating from the tree of knowledge. Basically, what you gave us in this scenario is the Adam and Eve choice. So Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, this perfect paradise, and God said, "Hey, you can stay here. It's the perfect paradise. You can fuck all the animals. They were fucking animals, by the way.
Yep.
You can do whatever you want, but just don't eat from the tree." And Eve, in the Bible, convinced Adam to eat an apple from the tree, which is desire. And in that, the very first mortal sin was created. But by doing that, that gave Adam and Eve free will. They suffered they walked the deserts after that. It was not good times. I guess they boned a lot because they made a bunch of children. And long story short, but that's what gave us free will.
Got
and
it.
So, yeah. And then, then Jesus died for the sins, and that allows you to go to heaven or hell.
Right. Okay. I
From the
understand
very
what
first
you're.
sin.
I knew that story, and I now understand what you were trying to say. Is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Like a few years of Catholic school. Actually,
went
I never
to
went to
Catholic
Catholic
school?
school. That's a lie.
I
No,
was gonna
that's a lie. I
say.
never went to Catholic school.
That does not seem like your family.
Yeah, no, they definitely did not make you go to Catholic school.
Okay. No music's playing. I don't know if that's
Welcome back.
on purpose or not. Yeah, welcome back.
Nope.
Nope.
The music's not playing.
Oh, yep, we can hear you now.
We hear you, not the music.
Now we can hear it.
Yeah. I love this song.
So where are we before I exploded?
We stopped talking.
Yeah, we paused until you came back. But you had just spent 10 minutes to teleport to Ophiotoro's castle using the Aetheryte tickets. How many do you have left, John?
33.
Oh, wow, okay. Where did you get them from? I'm trying to remember.
The mountain.
Mugged a guy.
Yeah, we mugged the people that were
Oh,
up there because they were trying to steal from bodies.
that's right.
I forget exactly why I mugged them,
Because you didn't
but there
like
was a
them.
good reason for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna kill them, and then they decided to give me what they had.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep. I'm remembering.
So technically, it wasn't a mugging.
It was
I mean, they-
assault and battery?
They had freedom of will to give it over to me.
Okay. Yeah, so you arrive back at the castle. Can you please... I'm going to change the music to the Kugane Day theme, if you don't mind.
Gotta find the track song.
Let me see if I could find the title for you.
Crimson Sunrise.
That's the one. There we go. Okay. Can you turn it down just a skosh? Okay. So, you arrive back on the planet, and despite it being daytime when you left, it is now nighttime. You were on the moon for quite a while. It's actually been more than a day that you were on the moon, if I'm remembering. But
I blame Kevin.
yeah, he did spend quite a lot of time exploring the depths, huh?
You guys could have talked to the dragon while I was exploring.
How?
Just saying.
None of
I
us
don't
have
know.
speak with dead.
Yeah, sure.
Soul could have cast
We could have
Wish.
talked at the dragon.
Soul could have cast Wish, which would allow him to
Yeah,
cast a lower level spell.
exactly.
I would have used Wish to turn myself
man,
into
I
the
wish I could
dragon
talk to
and
this
hope
dead
I get a
dragon right
horrible
now.
side effect.
Nice. Nice. Okay. When you arrive back at Sasaki Village at their Aetheryte, you begin making your way to the castle. You see smoke on the horizon. Black smoke billowing up out of the forest nearby, where you had found Amarat. But you get back to the castle, and Hancock is there looking
With
nervous.
Amarat again.
What was that?
What was Amarat again?
The city that was underground. Hancock is waiting for you at the gates of the castle, looking at the smoke with some trepidation. He's shown a lot more emotion towards you lately than he ever did in the past. It's like he's warming up to you or something, or has warmed up to you quite a bit. But when you get there, you see that sitting at one of the courtyard tables with 2 steaming pots of tea in Hancock's signature tea set are Emmett and SM. It took you quite some time
Anyone
to
else
get here.
find it a little rude they got here so quick? Didn't offer to take us.
How'd you guys beat us?
Emmett just points at himself and just says, Asian.
Yeah, you guys definitely are strong with your powers.
We do not require Aetherites to teleport as you do. We simply ride the waves of ether to our destination.
That must be nice.
It is.
Is that like instant teleportation?
It is not, and it requires knowledge of navigation.
Well, anyway, it sounds fancy.
It is. Thank you for noticing. Emmett sips from his tea. Can you guys hear like a crackling sound in the background from my mic every now and then? Okay, good.
Nope.
Just making sure. Ven's got a toy that he's chewing on. What was I gonna say? Oh, so you're now back at your keep, and Azem and Emmett are here. Azem seems to be enjoying themselves thoroughly, just looking around and taking in deep breaths, sipping at the tea, and they say, "You know, it is quite nice to be able to look up at a sky and see blue rather than black."
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I already kind of know what I'm doing, so if you'd like me to give you a tour, I'd happy to show you around.
I would love a tour. Thank you.
You want to come, Deus?
Yes, I'll go with you, Kevin. Because I also
Awesome.
know what I'm doing.
So out of game, we'll no, yeah,
Weren't
we don't
we
have to
going
act to
to
it.
have a conversation?
Yeah, you already know how I'm voting. And Deus. And so Kevin's gonna take him for a tour. That's Kevin's way of saying there's no way you're gonna convince him any other way. So he's gone. You guys can figure it out. And off we go for the tour, which we do not have to act out in game.
Hancock leans over to Sol and says, well, it would have been nice to know that we were expecting such powerful guests.
Well, as you can see, they seem to do things a little faster than we do, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no apologies necessary, Master Sol. I trust your trip was fruitful?
It certainly was something. Rescued somebody, got some memories back, just a usual vacation to the moon.
I would certainly love to see it someday. I could scarce believe where you had been until Emmett and their friend Azem had mentioned as such. It would be remiss of me not to point out I'm a little bit worried about that. And he points to the smoke that's on the horizon.
Oh yeah, what's that about?
That happened not too long ago. Perhaps about an hour. A large explosion followed by smoke that hasn't stopped.
I hate to say it, but do we need to go check it out?
Well, that would be entirely up to you, of course.
Can we spare the time to delay our conversation here?
Well, given the explosion, I'm not sure how pressing it is to save anyone, if that is what you're thinking, or how safe it would be to get close to it. But whatever you decide to do, I support you.
I was just trying to get a feeling from whoever from the party's still here, whether they want to have the conversation before we investigate, but...
Well, I think it is a foregone conclusion that the majority of the group is in favor of no Zodiark. So it would probably be more useful to discuss what our plan of action would be to stop Zodiark.
Out of
I,
character?
for one, still
sorry,
think
go
we
ahead.
should talk with... I think we should talk with Sid and see if Heidelin can't be of some assistance or another.
Out of
Perhaps we
character,
could
did
teleport to him
Hayate tell
later this
you?
evening.
Did Hayate say what? Or did Mike say what Hayate would say?
Did not ask.
Okay, please do, if you are already talking to him. Say pizza to Zodiark. Say no to yes. I love that meme. Okay, so Kevin and Deus are giving Azem a tour around the castle grounds. Emmett is sulking behind. Sol is looking at the smoke on the horizon, deciding what to do next. Hancock is just waiting for orders. What's everyone doing?
Well, after we finish showing them around, we'll come back to the rest of the group.
Well, before you get to that, since your tour is going to take a minute, let's see what everyone else wants to do in the meantime. Tavi, Sol, Set, Oleana. What would you guys want to
I left
do?
you guys there so you could talk.
Yeah, I mean,
Kevin-
I tried to get that going, but now we're waiting for what Hayate would say, and we're waiting to talk to Sid. I feel like we're at a weird impasse where we're waiting on things to happen before we can move forward, but maybe I'm misunderstanding what we're doing.
So my intent here is I just want to know how Hayate would vote. That's out of game. In terms of Sid, that's going to be a side conversation that happens later. And in terms of game time, that's not happening at this moment. So I think I'm trying to figure out what everybody would want to do once they get back to the planet. It doesn't even have to be about the most pressing matter. Like, let's say that you're playing an old school RPG. This might be the time that you want to get some side quests done. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to imply here.
You happen to have a list of the side quests that some of us might or might not have forgotten.
We do. It's in the Plot Hooks channel.
Well, I guess nobody's up to anything right now, then Soul will get ready to go check out the explosion.
Okay.
Samesies.
Good.
Mike just got back to me, said Hayate thrives on conflict and would be profoundly anti-Zodiark.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. In that case, as Soul's getting ready, are you going to go by yourself then, or are you going to bring anybody with you, Soul?
Anybody who wants to come is more than welcome to. I'm not sure what everybody's up to right now.
Yeah, once the tour's over, we'll come with you. Well, I'll come with you. I assume Deus would too.
Do you guys want to do the tour as a side chat? Or do you think
no.
that's just kind of like, we're just showing them around kind of thing?
Yeah, just showing them around. Nothing
Okay.
crazy.
Okay, just checking. Cool. So Kevin and Deus are back with Azem and Emmett. Soul seems to want to check out the smoke.
And that brings us back here. Yeah. Anyway, what did you think?
You have a lovely place here. It's boring. Oh, Emmett, don't
Yeah.
be that way.
It might be boring for some, but it seems like it keeps us busy. Anyway, I'd love to keep showing you around. I mean, I haven't shown you all of the great places you can poop. Wait, do you guys poop?
Of course, we eat food.
Okay, well, I don't know. But there's looks like there's something happening over there with the smoke. We need to go check it out. You're all welcome to come with, but yeah, I mean, it might be more fun than sitting around here if you're so bored.
I can give you all the ability to fly for a short amount of time if it will speed up the excursion.
Oh, that sounds great. Is everyone? I'm assuming everyone wants to come. If not, speak now. Forever hold your peace.
I would like to stay here and chat with this delightful fellow. Azim
Yep.
sidles over and puts their arm around Emmett. Or not Emmett, I'm sorry, Hancock. Hancock blushes. For the first
Sounds
time
good.
that you've ever seen.
Soul,
Oh.
are you sure you don't want to stay too? Kevin winks at Soul.
Soul will wink back at Kevin and say, "Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah, I hope you two don't have too much fun while we're gone."
Kevin gives Soul a hug.
Oh,
Hancock, I suggest you treat our guests to some of the more modern cuisine that they may not have ever tried.
Oh, what a lovely choice. What's the last thing that you remember eating? Pickled petalotus. Do you have any of that? Hancock says, what is that? And then we'll just let that go as they're walking away. All right. So Emmett casts a limited fly spell on the entire group. Shall we?
Yeah, we shall. Oh, this is
You
way
should
better
do
than
this by
potentially
yourself.
blowing up.
What was that?
I said this is way better than potentially blowing up.
Depends on who you ask. Okay, so you guys fly towards the direction, and you get to the spot where you remember there being a warding tower, the barrier that was there, and you are able to pass through it with no problem and no discernment at this point. And you see in the ground is a smoking crater where the entrance to Amarat once was. It looks like there's no way to get inside of it at this point.
Wasn't this the way in to the place? Do we see any smoke?
Yeah, there's smoke all
Do you
around.
think this looks demolished or caved in? Intentional or accidental?
Oh, that's a good question. Can I tell?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check, and you may choose a skill to use if you'd prefer.
Okay. Uh, 21.
Okay. What skill did you use?
Oh, I use my investigation for my feet to scope it out.
Okay. Cool. It looks like it was an intentional explosion to prevent entrance into this this particular path.
Oh, yeah. See, Oleana, you could tell by these blemishes here on this side and then the scorch mark over here that it looks like this was intentionally caved in, probably to block off the path.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the denizens of Amarat have made assumptions over what our plan of action is going to be.
No, that's
What do
a
you
very good assessment.
What do you think they thought we assumed?
That we're going to put a stop to the resurrection of their god.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty dumb for thinking we'd think some other way.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kevin. That is a good point.
Well, then, what next? Emmy, weren't you supposed to tell us how to stop this thing? Isn't that the whole point of us giving you your memories back?
I haven't decided whether or not we're going to stop this thing. Or at least not that I'm going to help you. Let us return back to the castle. I need to speak with Azim.
All right, let's go. Whoosh.
Okay. You guys
What it
return.
sounds like in my head.
Yeah. Whoosh. Just going through the air. Yeah, you return back to the castle, and Azam is there playing chess with Hancock. Did I ever? I suppose I haven't mentioned this to you yet, but I actually know the fellow who invented this game. He was a bit of a twat.
What are you guys playing? Oh, it's that game with all them pieces. I never understood why you make fancy pieces when circles work just fine.
Yes, but then you wouldn't be able to tell them apart, Kevin.
Well, yeah, one's black, the other one's red.
Ah, yes, that's a much simpler game.
Yep, it's the game you're playing.
No, it's not the same. Similar, but not the same.
All right, well, there's no way we can get into the place we're trying to go to, so we're back now, and we're trying to, convince Emmett that he should probably at least try to help us out.
Well, even if he doesn't, I can. You may ask me any questions that you want. Oh, and I suppose I owe you a little bit of a gift for helping me to escape my prison. And
Gifts? I love gifts.
you see Emmett Azam opens their hand and a blue light pulsates within it, and then slowly it splits off and goes into each one of you. I will help you to unlock potential. Realistically speaking, you are all level 19 now. I know that you didn't get to do
We leveled?
anything at level 18, but Azam gave you a free level that if you had chosen the other path, you would not have gotten.
Let's go!
Nice.
Free level.
Nice, thanks.
Yes.
Shout out to Azam.
I feel like I should have gotten you something. I feel stronger and faster, and well, I don't feel any smarter, but I do feel stronger and faster.
Well, the gift of my freedom is all that I could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, if you like freedom, wait until you try a burger.
What is a burger?
Hancock, can we get some burgers immediately? Wait. Mr. Corn Servant.
Corn servant comes running. Yes, Mr. Kevin.
We need burgers immediately.
Yes. How about I make you hamburgers with a little bit of cornmeal inside, and I use corn-based buns.
I mean, whatever you make, it's gonna taste good.
Ooh, yes. I have a great
Why
idea.
not just make entirely vegetarian meals? saying.
Vegetarian? What's that?
I am fairly certain that Mr. Kevin...
It means no living creatures.
Yeah, I would hope they'd be dead before we eat them. That'd be real weird.
I'm fairly sure that Mr. Kevin would not eat it. if
Wait,
it had no meat
Azam.
in it.
Azam, a question.
Yes, of course.
If Zodiac presented all conflict, does that mean all Ascians were vegan?
Many Ascians were vegan, but no. The so-called lesser life forms of the planets were not spared from the conflict. However, most of our meat was not hunted. It was lab-created, regardless.
You're right.
And
Wouldn't
Kevin, we
be
might have
that-
a problem if Zodiac comes back and brings everyone vegan. I might have to side against you after all.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, right?
Wait. Is Oleana vegan? Did I miss that? Or did I get that backwards?
Well, she doesn't eat, but yes, she has always been vegan.
Right. No vegan diet, no vegan powers.
Precisely.
I love Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, of course, you're right. I mean, make them without meat. It makes no sense. What would you even call that?
Nothing good, I'm afraid.
Yeah, agreed.
And before he runs off to make burgers, he starts running off, and then he comes back. He says, "Before I go, Mr. Emmett Selk, sir, I just want you to know, I would also choose free will. If I could not decide which foods to make for my friends, what would be the point of living?" And then he runs off.
Her words have never been spoken. The tear forms by Kevin's eye.
That was corny. Corn Servant is my favorite character this entire campaign. Fuck all you guys.
Yeah.
No.
I thought it would be Hancock.
Oh, I love playing Hancock. But no, I love all my NPCs. Regardless, without regard. Sorry, Christian, I beat you to it. Cool. So Azem has unlocked a potential for you. You'll all be level 19. Don't forget to think up a new mini feat and run it by me. In addition, Azem has made themselves available to give you any knowledge that you ask for that they might know. Emmett is still being a little bit cagey. So, what would you like to do now?
Okay, first question. How are babies made? Second question. What do I need to tell Emmett to get him to convince us that he should be on our side? Third question. Can I have infinite wishes? Okay, go.
In order, through sexual intercourse, you'll have to figure that out yourselves, and no.
Hey, I'm out of questions right now. Oh, I got a question. You know, sometimes when you poop and you wipe and you wipe,
Kevin suddenly
you
has
just keep-
silver. Kevin suddenly has silver gold duct tape on his mouth again. No Chris Pratt impressions.
the Chris Pratt.
Not to put suggestions in your mouth, Soul, but it might be advantageous for you to spend some time talking to Azum to see if you can't harness any more of your inherent semi-Asian powers for our upcoming trials and tribulations.
Well, I had been considering that myself, just kind of worried about what I'm going to find out. Kind of scares me a bit, but I guess if it's for the good of the world.
If I may, Soul. May I call you Soul?
You most certainly can.
Powers are a tool. What you do with them is up to you. Just because you were someone in the past does not mean that's who you are now. Your decisions are your own, and do not let anyone convince you otherwise.
Yeah, well said. It's that free will stuff again.
Well, you know where I stand. I just want to make clear to you that my affection for you as a group will not change, nor will my wish for your well-being change if you side against me.
Yeah, well, that is a relief to hear. Is there anything that you can show me that, outside of this great power you've already given us, that maybe I could harness from my past?
I'm not a wish giver, and I do not have unlimited power, but I can answer questions if you have them. The problem is I must be asked specific questions in order to answer them.
Do you think there's any chance of a peaceful resolution with the other members of the Conclave? Try to perhaps convince them to join against Zodiark?
That is my fervent wish, that there is that chance. Though I cannot say whether or not that will come to pass. I think it is a possibility. but I wouldn't count on it.
Well, I think after we've had time to discuss amongst ourselves any plans of action, would it be possible for you or Emmett to get them out of their hole for a meeting where we could at least make one final attempt at peace?
I think that would be possible. They still hold enough reverence for us that they would allow that, I think. And if they hold to the old ways, then they will know that a ceasefire meeting is exactly that. I would not expect them to violate a peaceful meeting.
What about that Fandaniel? He seemed to be operating under his own machinations.
Fandaniel is a bit of a wild card. That is true. I cannot speak to his motivations, or why he decided to attack you in advance, or why he refused to remain peaceful until a resolution could be sought. That is his own free will, ironically enough.
I at least would appreciate it if you and Emmett could put out whatever magical feelers needed to get one last shot at peace talks set up for some time before the moon falls. If there's some small chance that we could all align and prevent Zodiark from hatching, maybe our combined efforts could find a way to salvage the Asian souls on the moon without the resurrection of Zodiark.
The souls that you saw on the moon were mere reflections of who they are inside of Zodiark. The only reason they appeared there as they did is because that is where the least etheric interference is. If they had tried to appear on Earth, they would appear as nothing more than wispy shadows that you could see right through and miss if you weren't looking for them specifically. On the moon, they were able to appear a little bit more corporeal. In fact, they may be around here now, and we just don't see them. This is all because Zodiark is closer to hatching, so to speak.
Well, then, either way, if we're able to get them to change their mind, then maybe they could help ensure they don't get destroyed. You know, find some alternative to hatching Zodiark or destroying Zodiark.
Well, it's certainly worth a try. I will put out feelers, so to speak. But, as you mentioned, you want it to happen before the moon descends. Perhaps I can be of some assistance there as well. Azim reaches into their robe and takes out what appears to be a small spyglass, and they click a button on it, and it unfolds into a massive telescope that Azim is still somehow holding with two hands. And they look at Dalamud with it. Dalamud will reach the atmosphere at the point where Zodiark can be released in 34 days. They put away the spyglass.
It's nice to have a bit of a concrete number there.
The 8th Umbral Calamity will happen then.
Unless we all shake hands and come to a peaceful agreement to somehow put him back to sleep.
I like your optimism. So, If you have anything that you wish to take care of before then, I think now would be a good time to do that. My assumption would be that if you wish to challenge and destroy Zodiac, you will not be able to do so until it is within range. Until it is at that time when he comes to Earth. To the star.
We wouldn't be able to. We would not be able to damage the containment and basically crack the egg before it hatches.
If you can find some way to do so, you're welcome to try. But from what I know of your kind's existence here, from what I've seen from the moon, I do not think such an option is available.
Maybe we could go find that little Omega robot and get them to do something. They had the power to capture the dragon in the first place.
I do not think a toy would have the power that it once had as a machine, but it's worth a shot.
Kevin takes off his, rips off his wrap again.
Okay.
Oh, no, it wasn't as bad the second time. Yeah, I think you're all thinking about this the hardest way possible. Yeah, I think it's real clear. You just need to figure out how to stop that moon from coming in. And I don't think there's going to be any secret, fancy way to get around this. There's a big group of people that want this thing to come. And our group of people has to stop that big group of people.
Well, I don't fancy our odds at fighting the entire convocation and a demigod. Or full god, however you'd want to classify it.
Right. I'm just saying, we got to figure out a way to stop it.
We should do everything we can in the meantime to stack the odds in our favor, I guess. Contact Heidelin. Anything else?
I think that should definitely be our first stop.
By the way, is there any way you can get these things to work?
Some other...
Kevin takes out the earpiece thing that was broken.
I don't think
the
that's
link
something-
pearls?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
link pearls. No, I don't think that is a network that I can fix. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's always how communication networks go.
Kevin has a lot of experience with communication networks.
Sounds like a Verizon problem, or possibly T-Mobile,
Right.
or even the worst Spectrum.
Sprint? Oh, Spectrum, yeah.
Yeah, Sprint.
Comcast.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you guys have some discussions to do about what you want to do next. Mike's not here, and we probably want to get that conversation going as well, which we can do offline. I think we could call it here for tonight, and because I do have one other thing that I want to discuss, and that is the final session. How do we want to do that? Do you get,
Chop off its head with one strike. Oh, never mind.
no.
You're talking about something different.
Yeah, like for those who can make it in person, I know Jimmy, you said you can. Jess probably not as well. But Mike might want to come out, and I know that I'd love to have everybody in person that we can. See if we can get Will and Dylan out here as well for the final. I'm guessing that's going to be in a couple months at this point, 2 to 3 months from now. We'll probably take a couple weeks off before the final session just to give everybody time for that when we get to that point. But I'd like to do an in-person thing if we can, with as many as we can. And I know that's not nearly as hard for those of us who are in the area.
Yeah, I can do weekends as long as I have a heads up on it, when it's going to be.
So my thought is it'll be on a Saturday, and it's going to be a long final combat session, and then depending on how that goes, we might have an epilogue session afterwards. That's how we did last time. Yeah, so something to think about. I'll find out if it's something in the cards for Mike as well. Jimmy, you're for sure a no, even if it's a few months from now.
Yeah, I won't have the time off.
For a weekend? Like you can come down for a weekend?
Well, I'd have to. I'd have to see, because I would have to come in basically Friday and then leave Sunday.
Yeah, so we'd play on Saturday.
Turn off my...
Whoa, who are you and what have you done with Oleana?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Harley, if you
Yeah,
want
I'll
come
have
up
to
as well.
see.
For those who don't know, Harley is actually from our area originally.
Oh.
So,
I did not know that.
Harley, if you'd like to come in person and hang out with us on that day, you're welcome to. We'll let you know when it is. You can meet a lot of the folks. Okay, so
Fun.
we'll say that's it for today. You guys have some discussions to do. Please let me know as soon as you can which side quests you think you want to tackle, if any. And if anybody wants to do side chats about all that they've learned, the information going on, please, by all means, do that. I love the side chats. I will participate in them if I can. Soul, if you want to have some personal conversations with Azam, for example, I think that would be a great side chat. Yeah, just let me know. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks
Good
all.
night, everyone.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night.
All right, thanks, everybody. Bye.